Thursday, May 22nd, and we're gonna be talking about Trump's visit to Arabia. Reminds me of this movie, we all saw it, and Lawrence of Arabia, saw the story of this British Army officer. Lawrence of Arabia was played by Peter O'Toole, masterful. I think he won an Oscar for that. And of course, Omar Sharif, this exotic Middle Eastern characters played Sharif Ali, the son of the Sharif Hussein. And it's, I don't want to complicate the story, but this film glorifying the role of this white, green eye, blue eyes, Western man, and that he has, helped the Arabs in the desert there to revolt against against Ottoman forces there. Of course, there are Bedouins and savage and just irrational, and here is this Western, reasonable, complicated white man who was able to lead the savage and barbaric Arab tribes to organize and fight as soldiers, not just warriors. And one of the scenes that really stood out for me, this when Lawrence of Arabia was just overseeing the Battle of Aqaba, where the Arabs tribe forces descended on and dispirited, isolated Turks' forces and slaughtered them in a very bloody massacre. And of course, Lawrence of Arabia is the only rational, only person with human complicity. He's just looking down, just a lot of reflection, a lot of feeling, and the camera zooms on his face and his eyes, and it's a complicated feeling. His kind of complicated emotion, just thrilled by the slaughtering of the Turks, but in the same, he's just taken by the bloody and savagery, but the Arabs is just savage, acting like this sounds, you only hear it in Western movies, that when the Native Americans were fighting the white settler, and it's almost similar. So you can see this scene, it was like in a Western movie, and but anyway, in the movie, there is conversation between Lawrence of Arabia, Peter O'Toole, and Sharif son, Omar Sharif, when somebody from one tribe killed another person of our tribe, and they were about to have a war among themselves before even they start the Battle of Aqaba. And of course, the other tribe has the revenge, but of course, Lawrence of Arabia's wisdom saved the day. And he asked him if somebody killed the other person, or the perpetrators from somebody from not from the other tribe, that will end the blood libel, the blood chain. And so he took a gun from somebody. He doesn't even have a gun. This guy is just like Jesus coming to save this tribal, those savage Arabs from the Turks. And he grabbed a gun and went to who killed this guy. And of course, this guy was covered, and he took the gun and as he aiming at this guy that he's kneeling down. Of course, he's devastated. He knows he's gonna die, and he looks and. God behold, it happened to be that his guide, his friend, his Arab guide, gas him. And you gas him? Did you do it? And gas him, of course, shake his head, yes. And here is a moral. So Lawrence aimed the gun at Qasim's head and shoot him up, half a dozen times, killing him, and that avoided the bloodshed, and then they get on with their revolt against the Turks. So anyway, whatever, the movie just a movie, telling the story, and people sitting eating popcorn and history consumed like anything else, and drinking Coke or Pepsi and watching this propaganda about that Arab white man, this like white man burden that took on himself to go and save the Arabs from the Turks. And it was the end. He had to. He told Sharif Ali that he had to. You take care of this because there's a lot of chaos. You can see the Arab soldiers and tribes are looting and screaming and celebrating victories and all of this. But he had the serious business to go back to Cairo, where the British running a mandate over there, and all the center command and in the middle, in the whole area was in Cairo for the British there. Cairo was occupied by the British. But anyway, and he said, and then there was a conversation between Sharif Ali and Lawrence. And Sharif Ali, now you leave, and now you're gonna go back to your people and kick off. Of course, Lawrence of Arabia, through the whole film, was wearing the Arab robe and kufiya and all of that. He was Arab, of course, but he was white and blue eyes or green, whatever. And he said, now you're going to go back to your people and take off our clothes, traditional clothes, and wear your suit and wearing your clothes and speak this funny language and forget about us. And then Loris, you an ignorant man. If of those Bedouins went back to Cairo and to tell the generals, of course, the British general there, that they took the Aqaba, they're gonna laugh. Of course, they're gonna laugh. They're not gonna believe those Bedouins that they actually took over the Aqaba and kicked the Turks. Of course, only the British who can believe only their own people. People look at them, they dress like them, they talk like them, and Lawrence took on himself, crossed the desert by himself, 600 miles alone. And so, at the end, of course, Lawrence riding his camel alone and looking over the Red Sea, the other Moses here. And the sun is breaking through the dawn there, and he just contemplative, thoughtful, thinking, and saying, God, I love this country. And that's how And all the rant I'm gonna say today, and we'll see you next week. Support, check our website, Ahmedia TV, and follow and subscribe and share. And we'll see you next round.
Yes, Aqaba. Tomorrow we will go and get it.
Do you think we shall?
Yes. If you are right about the guns.